What's going on, everybody? It's Faye, dating coach Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we are going to discuss 5 reasons why you have to let him go to get him back. Now, listen, the reason I'm making this video is I know it's difficult to have to let a guy go, to trust in the process, but I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should and how it's going to benefit you. Hopefully, something that convinces you to go ahead and go forward and do it, okay? So if I'm looking down, I got a lot of notes here, as you can tell, okay? Number 1, he needs to realize what he lost. Ladies, you have to understand, and I live by this saying, I live by this quote, that is, without structure, there is chaos. He has to realize what he lost. There has to be a consequence to the actions, okay, that he makes, especially these actions that do not favor you. So, for example, if he leaves, okay, if he's pulling some shenanigans, coming and going, being inconsistent, not courting you, whatever it is, you have to let him loose. Otherwise, he is going to just naturally take you for granted. Everything's going to go to autopilot. He's not going to feel that he has to invest heavily in you because you're not going anywhere. There's too much security, okay? I always tell my clients, for a man to regret, he has to reflect. For him to reflect, something has to go against the grain, grain meaning what he thinks is going to happen and the reality of it. You throwing the wrench in there and being like, no, nice try, buddy. This is not happening anymore, okay? If you do not do that, a guy cannot realize your worth, and a guy cannot or will not. There's no reason to. You're not going anywhere. There's no reason for him to fix things, so on and so forth. That's number 1. Number 2, kind of rolling off that, it raises your value. Ladies, men do not commit to things that are easily available, right? Free, whatever. When you're sitting, like if you're going to a grocery store and you have those people who are offering samples to you, you try the sample, you don't think much of it. Now, you might buy something, of course, but for a majority of people, they try the sample, right? And they move along. They don't think anything of it. It's the same thing when you do not let a guy go, but he can come and go as he pleases. So going back to like a grocery store analogy, I always use the analogy with my clients that it's like something at the store, say a ketchup fucking bottle, right? Like sitting on the counter. Like it's ketchup. If you want ketchup, it's valuable to you. But it's such a common condiment that you can walk past it 100 times throughout a week, right? Hundreds or thousands of people walk by it, and if you want it, you can just turn around, come there the next day, whatever, and it's there, right? It only has value when it is desired, is what I'm trying to get at. Otherwise, it just sits there. What you're doing that lowers your value is you are just sitting there, and then you are wondering why things are happening the way they're happening. He doesn't value you. You are being taken for granted. He can come and go as he pleases and does whatever the hell he wants at your expense. That is a problem, ladies. So you have to let a man go to realize he's an effing idiot, or for him to realize he's an idiot, okay? This kind of goes off the third thing now. You reset the power dynamics. So kind of going off what I just said, the reason a man is doing those first 2 points I laid out is because he thinks he can. And the reason he thinks he can is because you have gave a lot of variables, right? Variables are the things that you're throwing out there that, or I call it evidence also. I kind of interchange that, the definition or whatever the word. But it's things you're doing out there, okay, that are sending him signs that it's okay to take this risk. Now, when I say risk, what I mean by that is essentially, let's keep it simple, treating you like shit, to get an advantage, maybe like he's cutting corners, or a guy's not investing in you, but he feels like he doesn't need to invest in you because he gets the same result. My definition of power in a relationship is whoever can do less and get the same result, okay? Going back to what I said, If he's doing all this stuff to you, you need to reset the power dynamic, because he's getting variables or he's getting evidence that says, I can do these things and you ain't going to do shit about it. You ain't leaving. So that includes you letting him come and go as he pleases, him being inconsistent, you putting up with bullshit, you liking him more than he likes you, him not courting you and getting the same benefits, that maybe all this bullshit's happened before and you let him back in, right? Goes back to the first point. There's no repercussion to his actions. There, he needs to realize you're actually gone. And until you change that, again, the power dynamics, that's not going to happen, ladies. The fourth thing is you have to break what I call the dopamine chase loop. So women want, and they love, everyone likes validation, love getting chased. Okay, people love getting chased. Women should get chased. I think men should court women, so on and so forth. However, there's a loop to it. And what that essentially looks like is a man desires a woman, a man invests in that woman or chases her, chase investment, whatever. He gets the reward. Okay, and then there's a waiting period. It does not go like you all think, which is, or he might think, which is, okay, I chase, or I desire, I chase, I get it, and then I get it forever. No, that does not. That's how you get taken for granted. So what I'm getting at, again, with the title of this video, you have to let a guy go to get him back, is you have to let, I'm not saying every time this happens, you should just let guys go or whatever. But if a guy is taking you for granted and is at your expense, you do got to let him go in that. And that there has to be that time period where he starts to build up that desire again. That's how, again, the right way to do it, not in this situation, just in general, the dopamine chase loop is more of a playful way, a back and forth, cute, funny, banter, quick wit type of way. Let a guy court you, he gets what he wants, and then, of course, with your consent, and then, some time goes by, and then rinse and repeat. But in this situation, if he thinks I'm gonna chase, oh, I got it and I'm getting it forever, you got to let a guy go. You got to let the guy go to create that dopamine chase loop again. Okay, so when you let a guy go, that's when it starts to build up, and he starts to wonder, he starts to picture, he starts to imagine, think, whatever, what you're up to, what you're doing, and he wants it, that feel good feeling again, okay, that you used to create in the beginning, but that got so dull because he got desensitized from it by taking you for granted and getting it all the time. That was a little long there. And of course, the last, probably most importantly, because it ties all this together, is it creates accountability. Ladies, men hate confrontation and accountability. And if you're not putting those things out there for him to be confronted, especially when he's doing wrong, if you're not confronting it because you're afraid of him pulling away, or you don't want to cause drama, or he just gaslights you and you guys do this all the time and it lights up and he blah, 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 right? If you don't want confrontation and accountability, he's going to roll over you, ladies. He's going to roll over you. Now, a lot of people, when I say this, they would say, well, it shouldn't be like this in the first place, Elliot. He should be doing this. He should be doing... Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. But that's not what's going on, right? That's not what's going on. He is taking advantage of you. He is taking you for granted. He is pulling some bullshit, and he knows he can get away with it. Goes back to point 3. You got to reset the power dynamics, right? You're showing variables that he can do this, and this is one of them. You're not holding him accountable. You might say something to him. You might confront him, and, to the extent where it's like, hey, I don't like what you're doing. Let's change it. But that's not a consequence, right? That's an observation. You got to be like, nah, motherfucker. Like, change your shit or you're out. Oh, you don't change your... Okay, then I'm out. Okay, you got to do it, ladies. So, with all that being said, if you want to work with me, links down below. Ladies, if you want to get my 9 series guide, okay, I have 9 guides, right? Absolutely free. Links down below. Click it. You'll become a dating master in no time, or at least half the time. I love you all. Take care, and peace.